the truth is painful.
You can't handle the truth!
Welcome to Todd Wrestles with the Truth, my AEW Week in Review. This review is of tonight's Dark Elevation Episode 8. This was it's kind of hard because this was a good, really good show with some really bad matches in it. But overall, the matches that were good were really, really good. So it's going to be a tough one to give a review on because, you know, I don't hold back on my reviews. I tell you what I really think, as per my Todd's Truth name. So let's get into it. The first match, what a way to kick off the show. You should do this every week with somebody like Miro. This is the Miro or Rusev from WWE that we all wanted to see. The monster. Unleash the monster. Let him destroy. He did. Poor Will Allday got beat all day. he got beat to a pulp. Oh man, Miro just destroyed him. Great match. Miro is the character, like I said, we wanted to see. Miro is just a beast. And he destroyed Will Allday and got the win. I can't wait to see him now, now that he's in this beast mode, to take on some of the other big beasts in AEW. I mean, that is going to be some fun stuff to see. But yeah, Miro got the win on this. Great match. This, not so much. I don't like this kind of gimmicky crap. Abaddon, I mean, is AEW, are you trying to be like WWE with this crap? I can't stand the Bray Wyatt thing. I can't stand all the stupid, supernatural magic crap. Give me a break. This is crap. And Abaddon, this is crap. This character, I can't. There's nothing. And in this match, which was a good match, but come on. Ryo Mizunami, who's only lost one match since coming to AEW, and that was against the world champ. I mean, come on. It takes the loss to this, whatever this is supposed to be. There's no freaking way. Ryo should have beat the crap out of this, whatever this character is supposed to be, and took the win. But no, they gave the win to Abaddon over Ryo? I would have went, oh, hell no, I'm not losing that, whatever that freaky thing is supposed to be. This isn't a stupid horror movie, or some lame horror movie is what it would be with this character. But yeah, Abaddon gets the win. So whatever with that, not a good match. Next match, good match. Moxley came out and it was just, through most of the match was just freaking hilarious, actually. Like trying to give like the rookie Andrew Palace tips on wrestling during the match. At one point, Moxley got out on the stage, laid down and was doing snow angels. It would be the closest thing you could call it. No snow in Jacksonville. So then he got in the ring and he was actively telling Andrew how to wrestle. It was so funny. At one point, he even put both his hands behind his back, leaned over, stuck his head out, looked at him and goes, "Put me in a headlock." Okay. And oh my God, it was funny. But yeah, Moxley's top tier, top notch wrestler, top notch character. He never disappoints you. And but yeah, he got the win. Again with the rear naked choke. He choked out Andrew and got the win. I wonder why he hasn't been using his normal finishing move. So he's gone to this rear naked choke the last, I can't remember how many matches now I've seen. So I think it's because he's like, this is more brutal because he wants to choke people out because he's mad. But it works. He got the win on this one. And the next match of the night was Dark Order 10 versus D3. Yeah, 10 is turning into an awesome wrestler in the ring. There's just no stopping this guy. D3, as they said, he's the only Italian citizen to be wrestling in AEW, I guess. But he's from Rome. They were making a big deal of that, and I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, against the much bigger, much stronger 10, Yeah, he didn't stand much of a chance. And 10 won this match with the full Nelson again. When he does the full Nelson, it's brutal. He puts him in the full Nelson and just ragdolls him around. That's what he's done to every person he's got in it. Yeah, D3 tapped out, given 10 the win. Another great match. Next match was Orange Cassidy. I love Orange Cassidy. He is so freaking funny. He came out with Chris Statlander against VSK. Chris Statlander looked like she was wearing, I think she pointed out the shoes that she was wearing. They look like the some of the fancy ones that look like the Back to the Future shoes. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, it started off with Orange Cassidy trying to do his pocket thing again. And everybody always tries to stop him from doing that. I don't know why. But yeah, this was just another good match. Yeah, but VSK was just outclassed by Orange Cassidy. And Orange Cassidy got his finishing move, the beach break, for the win. It was another great match for Orange Cassidy. This was another good match, too. Here's something I thought was really cool. The Hughes brothers there were against FTR. The Hughes brothers are Devon Dudley's sons. They're twin sons. And they're both big boys. I mean, and they guess are world tag team champions in another indie promotion as well. So I thought that was awesome to see Devon's sons. That was cool. I was like, oh my God, Devon Dudley. Awesome. But they were against FTR, who's probably one of the best tag teams in the world. But it was still a good match. I mean, the Hughes brothers did a lot better than I would have given a new team to AEW against FTR. But yeah, FTR gets the win. Great match. But yeah, it's great to see the Hughes brothers. Like I said, Devon Dudley's kids. It's awesome. Second generation wrestlers. This was another crap match. I mean, this... Again, Vicky Guerrero is a screeching harpy. I will turn the sound off while watching this every time she comes out because I don't want to bleed from my ears, blow out my eardrums with her. Yeah, just a screeching harpy. Neither Rose, I've made my feelings on that very clear. Just a poor match, terrible match. It wasn't good at all. Neither Rose got the win. That's all I can say for it. Just another bad match. Next match was Nick Comoroto against Baron Black. Yeah, this was pretty much a squash match. I get that they're trying to make Nick Comoroto out to be this big beast, but if all you're doing is you're squashing, rookies or enhancement talent or whatever you want to call them, that doesn't make you a beast. That makes you a middle of the road guy that can beat up an enhancement talent. That's what they're there for. But if you want to show me that Nick Comoroto is some kind of beast or big tough man, yeah, I want to see him wrestle like Brian Cage, the Machine. I want to see what he can do against him. I want to see what he can do against Powerhouse Hobbs. I want to see what he can do against Archer, the Murder Hawk. Yeah, just beating up enhancement talent week after week is not impressing me at all. I don't think that's, I just look at it and go, yawn. I mean, you're supposed to be this big tough guy. Why don't you go after some of the real big tough guys in AEW and show me what you can really do? So yeah, Comoroto, as I was saying, is a squash match. He got the win. Again, not impressed at all with this whole factory thing. Should be, just factory of cheating. They don't, it's like, oh, big deal. You guys are supposed to be some big bad villains. Whoopee. You can't win without cheating, which, just shows that you can't win. Not impressed. But it was a good match, squash match, so yeah. Next match was a good match between Red Velvet and, now this is going to be fun to Rika Tiaka. She's a Samoan girl that's big and strong. I really don't see how Red Velvet won this match because Rika is, like I said, big and strong. Yeah, Red Velvet did get the win with a looked like a roundhouse kick to the face, I think it was. But it was a kick to the face, but I just can't remember if it was just a kick to the face or she did a roundhouse kick, which got the win. So that was interesting because it's not one of her normal finishing moves. And I thought it was a move that Rika would have just kicked right out of and came back. But no, it was the finisher. So Red Velvet gets the win. I can't wait to see more from Rika because she looks like a badass, man. She looks really good. Next match of the night was Private Party against Duke Davis and Gannon Jones. Here's a match I'm kind of questionable on. I know they're pushing Private Party because they're with Matt. He's with Matt Hardy, but this other tag team they're a real tag team from other independent wrestling organizations. But each of these guys, oh my God, they're each like 6'5" and they're monsters. And Private Party, not 6'5", not monsters. They're both skinny little dudes. And I kept looking at this match as I was watching it, and lots of cheating, of course, from Matt Hardy. But I'm like, there's no way both the Private Party could beat one of these guys, let alone beat them. Because I mean, you should see the size difference when they were standing in the ring. It was like Private Party. Both of them were like, "How you doing up there?" And I mean, Private Party. Neither of Private Party is really muscular. They're both skinny little, kind of toothpick guys. But both of these guys were huge. I was like, there's no way that this would actually be a win. But Duke Davis and Gannon are the new guys to the company. So, they got the loss to Private Party after Matt Hardy did quite a bit of cheating. But, Private Party gets the win in this one. Another okay match, good match. But I don't know if I'd really say really good match. It may be good. But, yeah, one of those questionable matches. But they got the win. This was a really good match. Willow Nightingale, I think this was only her second appearance on AEW, against Thunder Rosa. Good match. But once Thunder Rosa gets going, she's a good veteran wrestler. I think that, she's good. She's got skills. But once she got going, there was no stopping Thunder Rosa. And she got the win. Just to watch her, she's like, wow. Yeah, you can tell she's a veteran and she knows what she's doing. Another match. QT Marshall doing his Villain Factory thing, which I'm still not impressed with. And I'm not impressed with any of them. Against Dylan McQueen, who's I don't know if this was his first time. I think they said it might have been his first match with AEW. He's training at the Nightmare Factory, where QT is a trainer. This was another essential squash match for QT. I mean, he's not going to have a squash match on Wednesday night when he has to face Cody. So get it in while you can, buddy. This was just a squash match. They beat him up. They dragged him out of the ring. He pile drived him on the steel steps. That kind of same old. So, not a good match, just a squash match. Now, every time you see Chaos Project, these guys are loons, man. Luther is hilarious. Serpentico is... I don't know what's going on with Serpentico. Luther just uses him as a weapon most of the time. Lets him in the ring to wrestle, and then he will pick Serpentico up and hit him on other people like a weapon, like he's a baseball bat or just a piece of lumber, and just throw him at people and hit him with people. And I mean, he even grabbed him in this match with the Gun Club. Austin and Colton their dad Billy wasn't there, which I missed. I love Billy Gunn, one of my all-time favorites. He picked him up. I think he picked up Serpentico, and I think he power bombed him onto one of the guns. I'm like, you just power bombed your own tag team partner onto your opponent. What are you doing? Oh my God, it's funny though. But this was a good match. Austin and Colton are really coming together as a good wrestlers. You kind of got to think they would be with their dad training them, because geez, that would, if you had your dad training you, who's Billy Gunn, the legend, and you didn't turn out to be a good wrestler, you should just go away, hide somewhere, and never show your face again. But Austin and Colton are good. They've become, and they're getting better every time I see them too. So, Colton, I think it was Colton got the win on this one. He calls it the Colt 45. So his finishing move, which was really good move. So Colt 45, I like that. I love how all of their stuff has to do with westerns and guns. But they are the Gun Club. So, yes, there you go. They got the win on the night. And the last match of the night was The Blade and Matt Hardy. Here we go again. Against the Dark Order's Colt Cabana and Allen 5 Angels. Or just 5. This was a really good match. It started off a really good match. But Private Party and the Bunny were at ringside. And the referees in AEW are still... What's a nice way to put moron? They're just morons. I mean, oh my God. I mean, they have a shorter attention span for distractions than I do with ADD. So I'm like, oh my God, one person could like do something and the referee, oh my God, and he runs to the other side of the ring and then stands there, oh, but what's going on? What's going on? Well, meanwhile, 20 people appear behind him and start attacking somebody. And I don't hear anybody being attacked. Apparently I'm deaf and blind too, so I can't see anything. And if I just turn my head even like this, I have no peripheral vision, so I can't see anything either. So this whole match was just Private Party getting involved in cheating and the Bunny getting involved in cheating. And then the Dark Order, I like the Dark Order, but come on, the Dark Order needs to go back to being a little more dark and a little more willing to kick someone's ass. Because them trying to be nice while a-holes like Matt Hardy and the Blade are cheating like crazy, it's just not, it's not fun. I want to see them go and just destroy these guys. But, they're supposed to be good guys now, so we can't do that. But, hey, you know what's better than a hero? Anti-heroes. So, I want to see them just beat the crap out of them. So, at one point, the Colt Cabana did a stage dive onto Private Party. Then there was Evil Uno and Grayson were at ringside. They ran around and started attacking Private Party, and so did Colt Cabana. Which I'm like, why did Colt Cabana stay out there fighting Private Party when you already had Stu Grayson and Evil Uno out there fighting? Which that was 3-on-2, but then that left your tag team partner, 5, in the ring with both the Blade and Matt Hardy. So what do you think happened? Yeah, Matt Hardy got this finishing move on Allen, or number 5, sorry, and got the win. But the problem was at one point, the camera view switched. So the problem with this was it did a shot across the ring, like diagonal. And what you saw was on the outside was Colt Cabana standing there watching his tag team partner get double teamed in the ring. And he just stood there like this. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's going on. So that really took you out of what was happening, because you're like, wait, you're standing there watching your tag team partner get the crap kicked out of him, and then he gets Matt Hardy's finishing move and gets pinned while you stand outside the ring and watch, instead of running in there and saving your tag team partner and saving the match. So that was a kind of, that did a big rut row for me. So yeah, so I mean, this night was pretty tough with Moxley and Miro and FTR being on the same episode, which all of those matches were great. But then you had a bunch of these matches that were just rut row that dragged down the episode. So I think I would give this one a high 3 out of 5, because I think these other matches and that finisher, which always remember the end. That's what everybody says about things. But I think that kind of dragged it down, or I would have given it a 4 out of 5, but a high 3 out of 5. Well, if you enjoyed this review, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review for my AEW Weekend Review. Welcome to Todd's Truth. Todd wrestles with the truth. My AEW Weekend Review. Tonight's review, AEW Dark. It was a all-around great show. Again, I don't think AEW can put together a bad show. Last night's Elevation was good, not great, good. Tonight's Dark was pretty great. I mean, there was maybe one match I didn't really care for, but it had nothing to do with the wrestling. But the rest of the night was just great wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan, this is a good episode to watch. First match of the night was Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks with Hook in their corner. Team Taz versus Brick Ulrich and Aaron Fry. This was just, what a way to start off dark. So Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs comes out. They do their intro. They both walk to the ring. Brick Ulrich and Aaron Fry are standing in the other opposite corner. Powerhouse Hobbs just goes off, attacks both of them. Ricky Starks is like, okay. So he like steps out to the corner. Powerhouse Hobbs just destroys both members of the opposite tag team. Ricky Starks basically walks over to the steps by the stage and sits down because Hobbs didn't need him. He beat up both members, like I said, of the tag team, and he got the win by himself. And Hook and Ricky Starks are just sitting outside going, what the F, Hobbs? They're looking at each other, and they look at Hobbs, and he won the match, handicap match, beat them both up. Ricky Starks just stands up and starts clapping to Hobbs. But it was a great match. Hobbs just like steamrolled both these guys, man. And they get the win. Ricky Starks doesn't even have to do anything. That's a good night. It was maybe just about a few minutes. And paycheck win. We're gone. Because, as they say, we don't get paid by the hour. Man, he should get paid by the minute for as fast as he won this match. Damn. And Ricky Starks didn't even have to get sweaty, man. Match was over. What a great match this was. It was so funny to watch. Next match of the night was Layla Hirsch, versus Diamante. This is coming from the match last week where Layla Hirsch and Ryo Mizunami beat Diamante, and I can't remember her tag team partner's name. And Diamante was so pissed at losing that she threatened to kick Layla's butt. And this was the match coming from that. And good match. I mean, both of these women, good wrestlers, good match. But Layla Hirsch actually got the win in this. I thought that was kind of surprising. But since Diamante is such a good wrestler and a veteran. But I guess it's because, I guess she would pick up the win since they just labeled her as the rising star last week. But she got Diamante with a cross armbar. That didn't take very long, and if you don't tap out when that move's put on, it'll separate your shoulder. So Layla Hirsch picked up the win. Good match. Another pretty good match, really good actually. I thought it was the Varsity Blondes. They keep getting better every week. They're rookies. Brian Pillman Jr. has a little more experience, I think, than his tag team partner, but good match. They've really started working well together, and they're making a really good tag team. Well, they made it into the 4 tag team match that's coming up tomorrow night on Dynamite. For the winner of that, gets to face the Young Bucks for the tag team titles. They faced Liam Gray and Andrean Alanis. I can't remember how they said it. So hopefully it's one of those because, I suck at it. But, good match. But the Varsity Blondes just outperformed them. They got the win. Good match too. I mean, so far it's been all good matches tonight. Next match is SCU. Well, I think they are my favorite, one of my top favorite tag teams. I love SCU. Against Jake St. Patrick and Spencer Slade. He's new. Got a lot of collegiate background in him, I believe, and he still wears the headgear. Another match of veterans versus rookies, and the veterans just outdid the rookies like they should, because they got more experience. Their match was really good. I mean, SCU just, again, veterans, man, outperformed them. Cut off every move they tried to do, and then finished it up. And SCU gets the win. Another good match. Next match is Big Swole versus Megan Bain. This was Megan's first match in AEW. But Big Swole, just too powerful. I mean, Megan had the size on her, but Big Swole has the power. And she just good match back and forth, but yeah, Big Swole just got the win. Another great match. Next match on the night was Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. Joey Janela is hilarious. Oh my God, he's so funny to watch. He's a nut. And man, the stuff he does, oh my God, I was laughing most of the time watching this match, as I do most of Joey Janela's matches. Versus Kit Sackett and Justin Law. Again, yeah, more veteran in Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. The veterans over the rookies again. Another great match. Yeah, they're just, some of the stuff that Sonny Kiss can do is amazing. I mean, like some of the splits moves and he does that. Like he does this one where Joey Janela picked up the opponent. It looked like he was going to lay him out or had him in a reverse, like he was going to do a stinger head drop, a DDT. And Sonny Kiss ran into the ropes, came off the ropes, jumped, did the splits in midair, and dropped the leg across the chest of the opponent. And they got the 1, 2, 3. Another great tag team. There's so many great tag teams in AEW. See, this is what happens when a wrestling organization loves tag teams and doesn't despise and hate them like WWE does. There's so many good tag teams here. It's amazing. The next match tonight was Killing King versus Julia Hart, which I think they said this was Julia Hart's first match in AEW. Yeah, good match again, but yeah, King just bigger, stronger, just out-muscled her and out-wrestled her, and she got the win. And yeah, another great match. I mean, it's not hard to have good matches when you have good performers and you have good wrestlers. And AEW is just showing it off in spades. I mean, like I said before, I don't think they could do a bad... I mean, I'm not challenging them for sure, but I don't think they could do a bad match now. They are like just running on all cylinders. Good match after good match after good show after good show. And this was a really great match. Up next was Serpentico with Luther in his corner versus Pac, the bastard Pac, as he calls himself. I love Pac. I think Pac is one of the best wrestlers in the world. The stuff this man can do, flying wise, jumping. I mean, he is perfect in the Death Triangle with Penta and Rey Fenix because they are all like the same breed of people. High flyers. Can do like, I think they don't know what gravity is because it's some of the stuff that they do. But back to this match, it was a great match. Yeah, Pac just, for his size and stuff, he has speed, power, and agility like no one else. And he just ripped Serpentico apart. In this match, it was just all Pac. I mean, Serpentico had a couple of things, but yeah, Pac just doesn't take shit from anybody. I'm sorry. He just steamrolled Serpentico. And a great match. Serpentico takes another loss, especially from Pac, because he's just amazing. So yeah, Pac gets the win. Another great match. And next match on the night was the Bunny, which was funny because she didn't come out here with any entourage. Matt Hardy didn't come out. The Blade didn't come out. Private Party wasn't out. Nobody. It was just the Bunny came out for a match against Layla Gray. And like I said before, I'm so happy to see the Bunny back wrestling again and not just being the manager for the Butcher and the Blade, because she is an amazing wrestler. She was an amazing wrestler in, I think it was Impact? I think it was Impact. She was an amazing wrestler there. She started out being a great wrestler in AEW, and then she left for a little while. And then she came back with the Butcher and the Blade because the Blade wrestler is her husband. But I'm so glad to see her wrestling again and not just being the manager. But yeah, great match again. Bunny gets the win in this one. Layla Gray put up a good fight too, but the Bunny is just more experienced. And like I said, happy to have her back because she's a great wrestler. The next match on the night is, the team. I don't get their gimmick really because I don't care, because I just think they're just like a cheap ripoff of John Cena. But gimmick aside, the Acclaimed, they're both really good wrestlers. And they proved it in this. And at the beginning, it was funny because he was, they were telling people to clap, hey, we're here, clap for us. And they were against David Ali and Vare Morales. And Morales wasn't clapping. and they said to him, he said, "Why aren't you clapping, you Juventud Guerrero looking mother?" which I never realized it until they said it. And now if you look at the picture there, and if you go look at pictures of Juventud Guerrero, he does look like him. I don't know if they're related or what, but I never even thought of that till he said it, and then I laughed my ass off. But yeah, the Acclaim gets the win in this one because, like I said, they are really good wrestlers. David Ali and Morales, more rookies, So yeah, another great match, another great tag team in this tag team scene of AEW. The next match is another tag team featuring the Hughes brothers against Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. The Hughes brothers also performed last night on Dark Elevation, where I learned that they're actually the twin sons of Devon Dudley. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. I love seeing second generation wrestlers. So it's great to see them in AEW, and I heard that they were also the tag team champs for another independent wrestling organization, but I can't remember which one it was. But yeah, Devon Dudley's kids. So that's awesome to see. Another great match, but it took some cheating by Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky to get the win in this one. But yeah, I think that just cheapens things. I know they're supposed to be bad guys and all, but if you got to cheat, you got to do backstabbing moves. It doesn't show off you as the great wrestlers that these two guys are. But yeah, they cheated to win, and they beat the Hughes brothers for a continued streak. They're undefeated right now as a tag team, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. So another great match, even without the cheating, just great wrestlers. Next match on the night was a six-man tag match. So Ryan Nemeth, JD Drake, and Cesar Bononi with, I don't want to say it, but pretty Peter Avalon in their corner. Against the Dark Order, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, and Alex Reynolds. Alex Reynolds' tag team partner, still out injured with a shoulder injury. Hope he returns soon because they're a great tag team, and I don't want him to lose too much, momentum in the tag team title races. So another great match. This was just a good match all around. Everybody, was doing great moves, doing their spots, and then it came down to the Dark Order taking the advantage and was getting ready to set up a finishing move when Peter Avalon jumped up on the ring side to cause a distraction to the referee. But I think it was Reynolds ran over like he was going to punch Peter Avalon. Avalon screams like a girl, falls backwards off the ring, and is caught by Cesar Bononi, and which allowed the Dark Order to do their finishing move on Ryan Nemeth. Wait. I think it was Ryan Nemeth. And then when they went for the pin, because Peter Avalon was freaked out and stuff, he was holding on to Cesar Bononi to protect him, which prevented Cesar Bononi to get back in the ring to make the save to stop at the 3 count. So he couldn't get back in the ring, and the Dark Order wins the match with the pin. So that was so funny. Oh my God. I laughed so hard at this point. When he screamed like a girl and fell backwards, like to get away from Alex Reynolds going to punch him in the face, and he lands in the arms like a girl of Cesar Bononi, and then he grabs him around the neck and then wouldn't let go. Oh my God, I was laughing so hard I think I was going to cry. But that did prevent, like I said, Cesar Bononi from getting back in the ring and making the save. So the Dark Order gets the win in this match. Another great match. Next match on the night was Dante Martin and Danny Limelight. Danny Limelight is looking really good. This was a really good match. My issue with this match was not the wrestling in it, because the wrestling was really good. My issue in this match, like before, is that they allowed Dante Martin to wear a BLM arm rag. So that pisses me off because, let's not have that kind of crap in professional wrestling. We don't need it. This is entertainment. And for that reason, I don't like the match. But for wrestling, it was a good match. But now they had Martin win Martin win the match again. And I don't know why, since I think Limelight should have picked up the win in this match because I think he's a way better wrestler than Dante Martin is, but they're pushing Martin for whatever reason. But yeah, this was the only letdown of the night, was that kind of crap. So it had nothing to do with the wrestling. It just had to do with, we don't need this kind of crap in wrestling. It's entertainment. We don't want this kind of stuff. Next match of the night was the Murder Hawk. I love this guy. Lance Archer versus Luther. Again, Serpentico tried to come out. He was basically dragged out by Luther, like he does a lot. Just basically dragged him out because Serpentico had just taken a beating earlier in the night from Pac. So he wasn't in no condition to come out, really. But Luther, dragged him out by his head. And he kind of fell on the stage up at the top, and Luther came down to the ring and he did his intro. When Archer came out, Serpentico, I guess, tried to do a snake attack, which failed. So he basically beat up Serpentico again, dragged him down, threw him into the ring and into Luther, and then got in the ring and proceeded to beat up Serpentico more. Serpentico was able to get out of the ring. So poor guy's just getting beat up left and right. And then went to war with Luther. I mean, as big as Archer is, Luther's no slouch himself. And he's not afraid of anything either. I mean, he goes up and just attacks anybody. So nobody really scares the guy, and which is good because Lance Archer would scare many people because he's so big. But yeah, just a really good match back and forth. Towards the end of the match, Lance Archer's about to go for a finishing move, and Serpentico, glutton for punishment that he is, decided to jump up on the ring and try to distract Archer so he couldn't get his finishing move so Luther could get the win. But out of nowhere, which I don't know what's going on with this. This was a shocker to everybody, including Lance Archer, because you could tell in his face he didn't know what the hell was going on. Fuego del Sol comes out of nowhere and starts attacking Serpentico. Knocks him off the ring and then starts attacking him, and they fight out of the ring area. And Lance Archer's face was like, He shrugged his shoulders and went back and did his finishing move to Luther and got the win. So that, I don't know if that's a setup for something where Fuego del Sol and Serpentico are going to have some kind of feud or matches or something, but I'm not sure. But that was interesting because everybody was confused, including the announcers. They were like, where'd he come from? And why did he attack Serpentico? Nobody knew what was going on there. So hopefully that's, shadowing something fun down the road with maybe a feud between those two. Because that would be a great thing to see the two of them go at it. So yeah, another great night of Dark. I would give this a high 4 out of 5 because there was really no letdown in any match tonight. I wouldn't say it was a perfect, like a 5 out of 5, but it was a high 4 out of 5 for me because, again, great matches, great wrestling. No real letdowns in the whole night. Just a solid show. Well, if you enjoyed this review of AEW Dark, join me tomorrow for my review of AEW Dynamite, Blood and Guts. This is going to be a fun show. This is going to be pay-per-view quality. And they're giving it away for free, which is amazing that they do this because I would expect them to, or want them to even do it as a pay-per-view because, hey, that's what it's going to be. But they're giving it away for free. So watch tomorrow night on TNT. I believe it starts at 8 o'clock. And I'll see you in the next review. Welcome to Todd's Truth. Todd wrestles with the truth. My AEW Week in Review. Tonight was AEW Dynamite, Blood and Guts. And there was a lot of blood everywhere. The first match of the night was Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa, versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. This came off of last week where they were threatened to break Kenny Omega's ankle if they didn't give them a match. But it turned out, pretty much like I was expecting. About halfway through the match, Kenny Omega got mad because he was getting beat up, and he just walked off and left Nakazawa in the ring to get just destroyed. Moxley and Eddie Kingston got the win on this match with a crazy move. It was Moxley did a lariat clothesline while Kingston did a belly to back suplex at the same time. And yeah, that got him the win. So they were celebrating the win. Out walks the Young Bucks. Matt was wearing an outfit that could only be described as the most god-awful looking outfit I've ever seen in my life. It was like a Hawaiian matching shirt and shorts, but the ugliest color and palette I think I've ever seen. And he was wearing like white shoes, so nothing matched. So they came out, was talking trash to Moxley and Kingston just to distract them. And then in the ring behind them comes the Good Brothers. And then the four of them just beat the crap out of Moxley and Kingston. And out comes Kenny Omega again. Oh, so shock surprise there. To help beat him. And then he has the four of them pick up Eddie Kingston on his shoulders so he can give him a one-winged angel. And yeah, that was pretty much how I thought it was going to go. I didn't think this was going to be an actual match or anything fair. This was just going to be a 5-on-2, 4-on-2 beatdown is all this was. And that's exactly what it turned into. The next match of the night was Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall. Still don't care about this QT Marshall thing. I don't know. It's just he doesn't have a presence like a lot of villains do. I mean, if you're a bad guy, you've got to be able to like project that, and be that, and he doesn't. I don't care. QT Marshall just does not look like a guy that I'd go, oh my gosh, I'm afraid of. No, I sit here and go, oh, look at me shaking. I'm so scared. So it's just not a good thing for him to be a bad guy because he just doesn't have the presence, that stage presence to be a bad guy, and to do what it takes to have that. But yeah, good match. At one point, which some of the ridiculousness of this match was that Cody Rhodes took off his weight belt, was going to hit QT Marshall with it. The referee stops him, yells at him, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. He grabs the belt from Rhodes, throws it out of the ring. No sooner does he do that than QT Marshall takes off his weight belt and hits Cody Rhodes with it. And nothing from the referee. So that was weird. That I thought that was like really, yeah, it was like, what the hell's going on here? And then at one point, QT Marshall gets it was outside the ring. He hits, shoving Arn Anderson away, that's striking him. Arn Anderson retaliated for striking him and was basically punched QT in the face and then grabbed him and was choking him on the ring post, which that was pretty awesome. And then all these referees come out of nowhere, literally. Like, were you just standing right there waiting? They literally run out and they make Arn Anderson leave when QT Marshall hit him first. Yeah, none of this made sense. But finally, the match went down. They did reversals, different things, trying to do tombstone pile drivers. But the match ended with Cody Rhodes finally saying, screw this, and locking in the figure 4 on QT Marshall and making him tap out. So Cody Rhodes wins it. Again, blood all over Cody's face from here. I think he cut his eye or something right here, and he had blood running down his face. So lots of bloods, but I didn't see anybody get their guts ripped out. That was what I was waiting for. But lots of blood. So, and then at the end, Cody Rhodes is celebrating, and out comes that Anthony Ogogo again. And Cody Rhodes turns around, and Anthony Ogogo gut shots him again. And I'm like, not this again, really? So, they're probably setting something up with him. This rookie guy who's was a boxer, barely a wrestler. He's still a rookie being trained. But now the super move from this guy who's not even that big is a gut punch. I mean, I could understand this if this was Paul White, the former Big Show, because the guy's 7'1" and he has hands bigger than bowling balls. That if he punches you in the gut or like his finishing move he was doing in WWE was, instead of chokeslamming, he was punching you in the face with those giant hands. I can understand that. But this guy is not that big. I don't care if he's a pro boxer. Not even anybody with any kind of physical fitness. A gut shot is not a shot that would crumple you. Crunkle. A gut shot is not a thing that would like make you just fall to the ground in pain. I mean, so I don't get this. I don't understand how this is a big finishing move or anything. I could understand if he did like the Big Show and he would, you know, being a pro boxer, he wasn't a pro. I don't think he was a Olympic boxer, but you know, a hook or an uppercut, you know, to the face or head. But a gut shot, I'm like, this makes no sense. But yeah, Cody Rhodes got the win in this match. But again, the match was good. It was just the aftermath which was dumb. But the match was a really good match. So other than the few, you know, minor referee stupidity. And then they went to an interview with Scorpio Sky and All Ego Ethan Page. They were sitting up in the stands, up towards the top where they've been sitting. You know, they sit up there by themselves to watch. While Scorpio Sky is being interviewed, Ethan Page, you can see, is standing behind him. And he's like agreeing with everything like Scorpio Sky is saying. Out of nowhere, Darby Allin attacks Ethan Page, because I guess they have a long history now from what Ethan Page was saying. He's injured Darby Allin several times. So he attacks Ethan Page. Then he tries to attack Scorpio Sky, but Scorpio Sky just punches him right in the face. And then he jumps out and they start fighting. And he knocks down Scorpio Sky. Ethan Page comes after him. He climbs up on a ladder that probably leads up to the catwalks where the lights are, and does like a coffin drop off it onto Ethan Page, which really doesn't have the effect of, you know, him standing there catching the guy as it would if he was laying down, he coffin dropped on him. But yeah, then Scorpio Sky runs over and bashes him with a garbage can, and then the two of them proceed to kick the crap out of Darby Allin, which I kind of liked because I'm not a big fan of Darby Allin's. And then they grab him and they throw him down a flight of concrete stairs. And he literally went down. He rolled the stairs. I mean, and they're concrete. You know, these weren't gimmicked stairs. They were concrete. So he's laying down there, which is a whole flight below them. As you can see in this picture, this is a close up, but they were a whole flight. That's a whole flight below them. Holding his arm and elbow, as you can see him here in this picture. So I don't know. Is this going to take Darby Allin out from defending his title next week? Or what? But yeah, they beat the crap out of him. Well, that was kind of dumb for him to, you know, it's being a little dude that he is. He's not very big, to attack two big guys like Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. That was dumb to begin with. But yeah, he got the crap kicked out of him. And then was this horrible match. This was the worst part of the night. I'm not a fan of hers. I don't think she's a good wrestler at all. The only thing she's been doing lately is they've been giving her squash matches. So she's supposed to be ranked number 1 now in the women's division, yet she's not really wrestled anybody of any significance. Everybody she's been doing, it's been a jobber, rookie, enhancement talent, whatever phrase you like. That's all she's done. The only time she's had a notable match was against Thunder Rosa, and she got her ass kicked. I mean, yeah, that's the only time she's had a significant match. I think she needs to have some matches with some of the top tier women in AEW before she's given a title shot, which I think is just beyond stupid. If they take the title, which they announced is going to happen at the next pay-per-view. So if they give the title to her, I will destroy that women's division every chance I get for this kind of crap, because she should have to prove herself more than beating a bunch of jobbers. So yeah, and she got the win here against another jobber. It's ridiculous. She's not a good wrestler. I mean, if you watch her matches, even against jobbers, she has more botches in some of these matches than I've lost count of. Big deal. She's a good talker now, but she can't do anything in the ring to prove it. That's why she hasn't faced any of the real women wrestlers. because she couldn't match them because they would embarrass her in the ring, and you'd really see her flaws stand out. So yeah, I think she's a joke. Next was this awesome match, which was really a great match for the night. So SCU versus Jurassic Express versus Varsity Blondes versus The Acclaimed. A 4-way tag team eliminator match. So what it was whoever wins this match, one fall, that's it, not elimination. I don't know why they called it eliminator match, but whoever gets the pin wins, and they get to face the Young Bucks next week on Dynamite. So great match. All these guys did amazing performances here. This was probably, one of the top matches of the night for me. The Varsity Blondes came out first, did their little chest bump, and then out came the Jurassic Express, then SCU, which is my favorite tag team, and then out came The Acclaimed. So this match turned out to be really great. I mean, they went back and forth, all 4 teams. A lot of blind tags. Some of those blind tags were met with punches to the face of the person who did the blind tag. So that was funny. And the match just flowed. It was a great match. A lot of good high flying. A lot of good technical wrestling. A lot, from the veterans of SCU, and Luchasaurus getting in there and just cleaning house, because he's big, strong, and he can kick the crap out of you with his kicks. But overall, just a great match. SCU though got the win here when they pinned Brian Pillman Jr. So it'll be SCU next week taking on the Young Bucks for the titles, who before they turned assholes used to be their friends. And then there was an announcement by Kenny Omega, and technically it was an announcement by Tony Schiavone there, with Kenny Omega out there because he's the champ, that at Double or Nothing, which is the next pay-per-view at the end of May, he would be facing either Orange Cassidy or Pac, because they're ranked 1 and 2. Kenny Omega said he wants to face Pac because the last time they wrestled, they had an incredible match, which they did. It was a great match. And so he said he wanted to face Pac again because of the great match they had before. But Tony Schiavone said, well, it could be Orange Cassidy as well, because Orange Cassidy is ranked number 1, Pac is number 2. So it was set up for next week that Pac and Orange Cassidy will have to have a match, the winner of which will face Kenny Omega for the AEW Championship at Double or Nothing, which I like that because that's going to be a great match. I love Pac. He's definitely up there as good as Kenny Omega, which I would love to see Pac and Kenny Omega have another match, because Kenny Omega's right. The match they had before was amazing. So next was Blood and Guts. This I've been waiting to see. It was the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle. So 5-on-5, and how it works is 2 people start the match, and then it was chosen who would have the disadvantage. Sammy Guevara decided he wanted to go in first because he wanted to face Shawn Spears. Well, Shawn Spears pulled a double trick just before it was time for him to go in the ring, and he didn't enter. One of the other members of the team did. So it was funny because he tried to trick him. So what he wanted to do was let his teammate hopefully beat up Sammy Guevara enough that Shawn Spears, came in next, so that he could have the advantage of beating up Guevara and wouldn't have to face him at full strength. Little dirty, but it worked because when Shawn Spears got in the ring, they double teamed Guevara and was beating the crap out of him until Ortiz came in, and then it leveled out. And then after that, it was like 5-minute match for the first 2, and then every 2 minutes after that, another member came in. Well, you couldn't win the match until all 10 people were in the ring. And then the match could only be won by submission or an I quit. So here's the ring when it was all set up, getting ready for Blood and Guts. As you can see, it's 2 rings with a cage going all the way around it and a roof on the cage. So you can't escape. and the match has to continue and beating each other inside of that double ring steel cage until, like I said, somebody submitted or somebody quit. But what happened was, there's 2 doors, because on each side, each ring had a door, so that each member of the team could come in on that side, which would be their side. Like Pinnacle be on one side, Inner Circle be on the other. And then, so towards the end, all 10 are in there. They're going at each other after they had the stare off, one in each of the rings, and they attacked each other like crazy. And then Tully Blanchard outside, it didn't show if he attacked the referee, one of the referees, but he had to have attacked the referee or did something, because he got the keys for his side from the referee, opened the door, which allowed MJF to escape the ring, but escaping the ring doesn't win the match for you either. So MJF wanted to get out of there because he was getting the crap beat out of him at the time, and all bloody and blood pouring down his face. And so he got out, climbed up to the top of the cage to get away. And then that's when Chris Jericho came out and climbed up after him. The only negatives I've got for this match, because I liked it, I thought it was awesome, it lived up to my what I was expecting, was that this should have been done as a pay-per-view. Or this should have been done where they got a sponsor to sponsor this match, because there were a lot of commercials, and the commercials killed the momentum of the match. So people were saying that they watched it in other countries on Fight, and the action slowed down, and like they were waiting in between commercial breaks to keep the action going, like fight. Oh, okay, take a little break. We'll do the okay. Commercial's over. Fight. So, and there were a few things that happened in this match that we, watching it on TV, didn't get to see. Like at one point, FTR ripped up one of the mats on the ring, on one of the rings, pulled up the padding, pulled up the mat to just expose the hard wood underneath. And then they were going to double pile driver both members of Proud and Powerful. Well, Sammy Guevara helped out. They flipped it around, and they ended up spike pile driving both members of FTR onto that wood. So all they did was move the wood and got hurt themselves. We didn't get to see that happen because it was a commercial break. So we didn't get to see, we saw like Jericho go outside, start to climb up, and people were saying that he like stopped halfway up while climbing. And people were like, well, why is he did that? Why is he not climbing all the way up? And then it was later found out that it was because it was a commercial break. So he stopped, like, okay, oh, we're back from commercial. And he started climbing back up to meet MJF up at the top. So things like that. They should have had something where, like I said, where they got a sponsor to somebody sponsor this match so that the match did not have to have any commercial breaks. That would have been great. Or this should have been a pay-per-view where we wouldn't have had to deal with commercial breaks, because I would have paid to see this match so I didn't have to sit through the commercial breaks, which did kill the momentum of the match. But it finally ended with MJF and Jericho on top. MJF, of course, reaches in his tights. I mean, that's got to be uncomfortable. Pulls out that diamond ring he wears, which again, that's got to be uncomfortable down there for all the stuff that he went through inside that cage. He has stuff kind of painful. But put it on, punches Jericho, basically knocks him silly. He grabs Jericho, holds Jericho out over the edge of the cage to the floor or to the stage, and tells the Inner Circle if they don't surrender, so they can win the match, that he's going to throw Jericho off the top of the ring. Sammy Guevara surrenders because he doesn't want to see Jericho hurt, which he should have known. MJF is a liar. MJF is a backstabber. He doesn't do anything, right? So Sammy Guevara quit, gave the surrender, and MJF still threw him off the top of the cage. And you can see he crashed down over there on the far side onto the part of the stage. That was gimmicked, of course, because, look how far up look how little MJF looks up there on top. And he threw him all the way down there. Of course, that stage was gimmicked because we don't want to kill Jericho. But you have these people out there who are, oh, I was so gimmicked, it's retarded, oh, it's bad, it's horrible. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but have any of you, because if you guys have ever seen a lot of these people that review wrestling, they're all little nerdy dudes that have never played a sport in their life, let alone wrestling, let alone any of this kind of physical stuff. And I'm like, how about you climb up there and I'll throw you off onto a non-gimmicked stage and we'll see how you land if you don't die. Well, we don't want Chris Jericho dying, so yeah, of course that was gimmicked, so he didn't get hurt. He's in his 50s, for God's sake. So that's how the match ended. And I thought the Pinnacle was going to win because the Pinnacle, they just brought this team together, so you don't want to destroy this team on their first big outing. In this situation, it wasn't really a loss for either team or a win because, you should see what everybody looked like afterwards. But yeah, I figured the Pinnacle would win because we want to continue this feud, this storyline, until an eventual, hopefully, Jericho gets to, beat the crap out of MJF in a match and in this feud permanently. So yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a great match. I mean, there was so much blood everywhere, man. They're gonna have to hazmat team this whole arena down, man, because there was so much blood during this, and blood and guts, so it was good. Well, like I said, the only thing I didn't see was some of his guts spilling out, so I'm disappointed in that. So, but overall, great match, great show. And then Pinnacle got the win. As you can see, look at MJF's face, and you can look at something like Dax Hardwood, and them standing there, and you can't see the other one back behind him, Cash Wheeler over there, but or is that Cash Wheeler? Sorry, and Dash Hardwood, but it covered in blood. His trunks are covered, his white trunks all covered in blood, and yeah, it was a brutal match. I mean, that steel cage is still has sharp points on it that you can cut yourself open on. And Sammy Guevara did. He got a cut on his arm from the steel cage that sliced open. It must be about 5 or 6 inches long. You can see it if you look up on his Twitter. He posted a picture of the stitches and stuff he had to get for his shoulder being ripped open by that cage. So yeah, it was bad. It was bloody. So for next week, they did the announcements. Here's the promos for it. Next week, it'll be Orange Cassidy versus Pac for the title shot at Kenny Omega for Double or Nothing. And I believe it's the end of May 30th, I believe. And then you have from tonight's too is the Young Bucks will have to take on SCU for the World Tag Team Champions, which I hope SCU wins because I don't know if anybody realized it that watches wrestling, but I think in almost every wrestling company right now, WWE, as I call them because I don't like them, AEW, Impact, all these ones, all of the titles are held by villains. The bad guys hold all the titles. So it's kind of funny. I'm like, wait, that is right. They're all held by the bad guys. So I would like to see SCU with those belts back around their waists again because, as I said, I love SCU. I think they're my favorite tag team. So I would love to see that. And if they lose, then SCU, they break up. And I don't want to see them break up because they're too good. I don't want to see them go on a singles runs. I like them as a tag team because they work so well together. And they worked together for a long time. So also announced during the episode was this, which I can't wait for. So after Darby Allin got his butt chucked down those stairs, this was announced for next week. Darby Allin has to take on Miro. Yeah, okay. There is no way in hell that Darby Allin is going to beat Miro. No, there's no way. I want to see that title around Miro's waist because Miro is a monster. He needs to have that title and he needs to just destroy people every week because that's what Miro likes to do. And that's what we want to see. This is the Miro we all want to see. Rusev Miro. This is the one that we've wanted to see the whole time. The beast that just destroys people. And by putting that title on him, he will be able to wrestle every week on Dynamite and destroy a new opponent every week. And that's what we want to see. Yes, do it. And this one is also, I'm so looking forward to next week. So, New Japan's IWGP US Championship the US Championship is going to be defended on Dynamite Never done this before. They've never allowed one of their titles to be defended on a different promotion. So Moxley will be defending the IWGP US Championship versus Yuji Nagata, a freaking legend. I mean, there's nobody that knows anything about Japanese wrestling that does not know who this guy is. He has been around since the last time he came to the US for a match. He came and performed on WCW. That's how long this guy's been around, and he still wrestles. And he's still a great wrestler, and he's a legend that everybody would like to have a shot at or chance to wrestle. So this is going to be an amazing... So this is amazing in both of those categories. Moxley will be defending the IWGPA US Championship against Yuji Nagata on Dynamite. And that is amazing. This is the whole, forbidden door being kicked open, not only being kicked open, but being broken down by the battering ram and stomped on for New Japan to allow their title to be defended on Dynamite. So this is going to be amazing. I can't wait for this match. This is probably going to be the best match you're going to see all year. And then, there it is. Double or Nothing. The next pay-per-view is coming May 30th. So a lot of these matches that are coming up are leading up to this. So the one that has me the most pissed off is the one that they just announced tonight. This. So Britt Baker gets to beat up a bunch of jobbers, while Hikaru Shida is beating up the top talent in AEW that she has to defend her title against. Britt Baker spends, what's it been, 3 months since she came back from injury, beating up a bunch of jobbers, enhancement talent, rookies, whatever you want to call them. And she gets a title shot at Hikaru Shida when she's not had a match against any top talent at all. The only one she took on was Thunder Rosa, and Thunder Rosa kicked her ass. So this is stupid to me. If they had better not have Britt Baker beat Hikaru Shida, because Britt Baker, like I said before, is a crappy wrestler. Her matches have botches upon botches if you try and watch them. That's it. And all she had to do is beat up a bunch of jobbers, and she gets a title shot. She doesn't even have to go through any of the other top tier talent in the women's division, because she can't. She'd lose to all of them. There's no way that she could beat any of the top talent, and that's why they're doing it this way, so they can pretend she's a threat by having her beat up jobbers and having squash matches. So yeah, not happy with this. This is crap. So yeah, that was AEW Dynamite's Blood and Guts. Overall, great match. Great matches, great show. I mean, just with a couple little tiny things in it. But yeah, I would give this, oh man, if it's going to be, it's so hard. I would give this a 5 star, 5 out of 5 stars, man. If not a so high 4 out of stars that it would be touching 5 out of stars. So I'll give it a 5 stars because it was that good. The few things in it I didn't like were not enough to bring me down on the high of this show. So yeah, it was great. If you get a chance, go on TNT and watch this because it will not disappoint. The whole thing was spectacular. And I felt great after watching it going, yeah, this is awesome. This is what wrestling should be. So if I feel that way, 5 stars. Watch it if you can on TNT. Well, thanks for joining me for this review of AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts. If you like this review, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review.